Today, we are going to talk about why your passion and your frustration are actually superpowers for you. So, if you've ever thought these solutions just keep missing the mark, why isn't anyone doing something about this? Then this conversation is absolutely for you. So, I just want to be honest with you for a moment. Frustration often gets a bit of a bad rap, but the truth is that the best change makers often start feeling frustrated. They feel frustration at what they see frustration at solutions that aren't working. And honestly, frustration's a lack of common sense a lot of the time in solutions that are presented. But the thing is, frustrations mean that you see the cracks. You're paying attention, you care deeply enough to notice what's not working. And that really means that you're already halfway to being a change maker. Not everybody, I just want to point this out, not everybody sees what you see. Some people don't see those problems and they never really give it a second thought. But you see them and you can't help but imagining a better way to do things. And honestly, that really means something. All right. So let's also talk about passion. So, passion is what fuels you to go beyond your frustrations and actually speak up and start conversations and push for a better way to do things. And it really gives you the energy to keep showing up, even when it feels like the system is broken and the problems are too big. Change makers stop waiting for someone to fix the problem and they start creating the solutions themselves. What I want to do is really remind you today that you don't need to have a qualification and you don't need to have a title to make a difference. You just need that passion, you need heart, you need to care, and you need the courage and support to actually take that first step. Some of the most impactful community projects I've ever seen started are because someone simply said, enough is enough. We can do better than this. And then they rallied other people together who felt the same as them. Now, one of the biggest traps that I see passionate people making is that they wait for permission to be able to make this change happen. They wait for funding, they wait for the right time, they wait to feel ready, and they wait to have all of the steps in place and all of the process in place. But the truth is that you're never really going to feel ready because the people who lead change rarely do. They just get started because they just can't put up with it anymore. They start small. It might be a conversation, it might be a coffee with a few like-minded people, it might be sharing a post that makes people start to think about something. And before they know it, that little spark turns into something bigger. You don't need permission to start leading change. You just need to have a willingness to actually try and to step up. All right, so let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around your community and thought, why isn't anyone doing something about this? Or if we just did this, we'd fix things. I think sometimes as a change maker, it just seems so obvious what we need to be doing. And sometimes we forget that it's not that obvious to everybody else. Maybe you've started small, you've shared a well-being post that you've seen, or you've had a tough conversation with someone, or you've volunteered somewhere because you just had to do something and you felt compelled to do something. If you've done any of that, honestly, you are already a change maker in the making. So drop it into the comments. Let us know what you've done. Whether it's big or small, it doesn't matter because all of it matters. And it's about recognizing that. And I think by sharing some of those little things that we've done, it helps us feel better about it. But it also reminds everyone that's in this group with us, all of those little things matter. And all of those little things put together are what makes change happen. All right. So here's a simple activity that you can try doing this week. So first of all, write down one thing that really frustrates you. One thing, I've often had conversations with people and they're like, this just is ridiculous, or this is just completely missing the mark. What is it? What is that thing that frustrates you about mental health and wellbeing in your local area? Then underneath it, I want you to write down why it matters to you. Why is it that frustrates you? Why is it that it matters to you personally? Because sometimes by doing that extra little step, it really helps to spark our passion, but it also reminds us why it is so very important. And then thirdly, ask yourself, what's one tiny action that you could do to start shifting this? Now, once again, I want to say it does not have to be big. I think we can get caught in the trap of overcomplicating things. It's okay to keep things simple. All actions are a move forward. Now, that could be sharing your thoughts in a community group. It could be having a chat with someone who feels the same. It might be joining an existing group and adding your voice to it, adding your voice to this space. Or it might be creating your own post and sharing it. Or it might be doing something simple in your community. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It is all important. Now, if today's conversation has reminded you that your passion and frustration matter and that they're actually the very things that your community needs, then you're exactly the kind of person that my Community Wellbeing Changemaker membership was built for. Inside, I'm going to help you take that spark and help you turn it into something tangible, something that brings people together, attracts funding, and actually improves wellbeing outcomes in your community. I just want to give you this reminder that waitlist is open, and when you join, you'll be the first to hear when doors open. Now, next week, I'm going to be telling you all about my 1-hour workshop that I'm going to be doing the week after my birthday party. So keep an eye in the Facebook group and in your emails if you're on my email list, because I'm going to give you all the information there. I'm really excited about this workshop because it's really going to be focused on some very simple actions that I'm going to guide you through and we're going to do together that you can take straight away to actually start creating impact and getting your community-driven wellbeing solution off the ground. Look, I just want to remind you, frustration doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you care enough to notice what's broken, and that's where change begins. So next time you feel frustrated, I want you to just pause and remind yourself, this is my sign that I see what other people might not. And that's my call to lead. Frustration really shows us what matters the most. And passion is what gives us the courage to do something about it. Look, thank you as always for joining me today. If any of this has sparked a question that you've got or whatever it might be, please drop your questions into the comments, because I will jump in and I'll answer them either in the comments, or I will I'll add them to our list and answer them straight away next week, because it can be questions to do with anything. It might be questions to do with funding. It might be questions to do with specifically what you're trying that you'd like some feedback on. It could be questions on, how to get started, who you should invite to your action team. It could be what's a quick win that you could try straight away in your community. There's no questions off the table. Might even be a question about your action plan that you're trying to write. Drop them in. I can answer them all, and I'm more than happy to. Look, thank you as always for joining me today. I'm going to leave it here now. As always, let's stop watching the mental health statistics and let's start changing them. And I look forward to talking soon. See you later.